Thanks for the question. I'm pleased that the government has agreed to give new powers to London and other English regions to charge a modest tourist levy. This is something that I've long called for, and is another example of this government listening, a stark contrast to the previous government who held back devolution. London is the gateway to the UK, accounting for over half of all international visits and welcoming close to 20 million visitors each year who come to experience our world-class museums and galleries, visit our historic attractions and enjoy an amazing array of events. International cities like New York, from New York to Paris and hundreds of smaller cities across the world have long benefited from a tourist levy. Introducing one in London would level the playing field by ensuring further investment in the capital, which would then contribute to further growth. All the major hotel chains and accommodation websites represented in London have collected accommodation levies in other global cities for many years. As such, many businesses will be familiar with the use of a tourist levy as a way to raise funds. A tourist levy, in my view, is a virtuous circle. Providing London with the power to collect and retain a levy will generate sustainable revenue to reinvest back into London's economy and will ultimately lead to a better tourist experience in the city, meaning increased tourism and growth for businesses. This will be a major win for London and the UK, helping to drive growth, attract new visitors, create new jobs and boost the UK's global standing and competitiveness. The government's formal consultation on the levy will close next month, and I encourage all London stakeholders to submit their own responses. It's worth saying that we already work closely with the hospitality and cultural sector, and my team is in regular contact with key stakeholders across the sector on this issue. Once the government set out their response to the consultation, we'll outline our plans for consulting more formally with the sector and more widely with London's businesses and local authorities as we develop our plans for the levy in London.
Happy New Year, Mr Mayor, and congratulations on securing this new tourism levy for London, and really welcome in terms of the confirmation that you've just given there in terms of further consultation beyond the government's one that's happening at the moment in terms of with the sector and with other key stakeholders. Now, if I was comparing, as an analogy, using website names to compare your approach to tourism with the Tory one, yours would certainly be visitlondon.com, where it was, you've already heard today, the Tories are very much confused.com. Under your predecessor and under one of your previous competitors, Lord Bailey and, of course, Boris Johnson, they, in their manifestos, set out that they wanted to support a tourism levy, and we've heard from them this morning that they actually seem to now oppose it. If their approach was a suitcase, it'd be a suitcase full of flip-flops, wouldn't it? But on the other hand, what we... I know that they love my questions. So, on the other hand, what we've seen earlier today, look, the reality is, under your leadership, since 2016, London has been a top three destination year after year after year. In November, London was voted the best city to live and work in, and of course on TripAdvisor again for this year, best city in the world to visit. So look, Mr Mayor, how will the tourism levy support the hospitality sector, protect jobs and create growth?
Well, I mean, the member's right to remind us all. I mean, some try and talk down our city for political gain, and shame on them to talk down our capital city. He's right to talk up our city. Why would a tourist, a visitor, an investor, a student come here if they believe the nonsense spewed by some who hate our capital city? So he's right to remind us of the objective, independent plaudits we've received from a number of independent organisations. We are the tourist capital of the world. We can't be complacent. And that's why a tourism levy is so important, because we've got to make sure we understand there's competition. You may choose to look at another city on a website to go to, and if you're seeing nonsense comments about how terrible City A is versus City B, you'll choose City B. And so we've got to invest, not just in terms of talking about our city, but in terms of the public realm, in terms of those parts of our city where tourists don't currently go. So we're going to work with the boroughs about what we can do to encourage more tourism there as well. The key thing is to speak to those in the industry, those in tourism, those with hospitality, what we can do to increase the offer and what we can do to make London even more enticing for tourists going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And in October, when I asked you on this question, on the question of the tourism tax, you said you liked my optimism. When I asked you in October about the tourism tax, you said that you liked my optimism. What reasons are there for Londoners to be optimistic about the tourism levy coming in?
Well, he was talking up this before it had been agreed by the government, which is why I was a bit nervous, and he was a bit optimistic about the possibility of us having this. We've now got it, so you're allowed to be optimistic about us getting the tourism levy because the government's now consulting. I think it's really important that we listen to the response to the consultation. We'll do our own consultation to work with various parts of this sector. But I'm really confident because if you think we're number one and we're the only city, in that sort of league table that's not got a tourism levy, imagine the enhancement we can give with a tourist levy. But also it gives us certainty going forward about revenue streams, which is really important when it comes to investing in big infrastructure that will help tourists come here, but also mean their experience is a better one.
Thank you very much.
Of Assembly Member Mohima.
Can I thank the member for a question? Social housing is the key to building a better and fairer city for everyone. Having grown up in a council estate, I know how important it is to be raised in secure, quality and affordable housing. That's why I'm proud to have secured £11.7 billion of funding for the new London Social and Affordable Homes programme, which will be a majority social rent programme. The 10-year programme is the largest funding settlement London's ever had over the longest period and will provide the funding certainty and capital grant funding that the affordable housing sector needs. Housing and economic growth are inextricably linked, and the member is right to highlight that in addition to providing secure, affordable homes, social housing has many wider benefits to the economy. In 2023, we jointly commissioned research with London councils that showed that a 1% increase in housing affordability in London could yield a boost of £7.3 billion in economic output over a decade. That's why our new London plan will have the dual priorities of housing and economic growth. I'm proud that we've increased affordable housing delivery significantly since I became mayor. The average affordable housing percentage in referable applications increased from 25% in 2016 to 42% in 2023 and 46% by habitable rooms. Since 2018, more than 25,000 council homes have been built or are being built with help of City Hall funding, and I'm aiming for 40,000 by the end of 2030. There's no doubt that housing delivery across the country, including London, is facing many challenges, and I'm doing everything I can to address these. In October, working with the government, we announced several emergency housing measures to support house building in London. These are intended to unlock delivery of homes of all tenures, including social rented homes. But it doesn't stop there. I'll continue to work with the government, councils, housing associations, developers and others to help ensure London's social and affordable housing sector is in the best financial position to build new affordable and social homes and boost economic growth across the capital.
Thank you, Mayor Khan. As we know, London's social homes contribute around £6.9 billion annually to the UK economy, and I guess it's really important to think about not just the homes that people live in, but also the wider ecosystem, the supply chains that constant supply really supports across the country. So it's also, and I'm really glad that you've also referenced the fact that that economic support is not just about the contractors and the developers, but it's also about those people who are living in those homes, who the very fact that they're in a social home means that they have more disposable income, and it supports them establishing themselves as active, productive citizens, and those households can be much more self-sustaining. So with that in mind, I just wanted to really understand what steps you're able to take to protect and grow the contribution from London to the wider economic growth of the country, because I think that's really, really essential. You've mentioned the 7-to-1 ratio there.
Can I thank the member for reminding us of the other benefits not talked about of having a home for a long period of time? Putting those ties, the roots in the community are so important for a variety of reasons. So yes, of course, we want to support the economy where the brick's made, where's the cement made, where's the plaster made, so forth. We're helping the supply chain across the country. A number of things we're going to do to support house building. In addition to the money secured from the government in terms of the London Social and Affordable Homes programme, we've set up a London Housing Mission Board, which is co-chaired by a deputy mayor from City Hall, and obviously and the housing lead from London councils. This is a partnership approach, and the London Housing Mission Board is so incredibly important. The New London Plan will be incredibly important. We've published towards a new development, a New London Plan. We'll be working with the sector about what the London Plan should have in it that supports housing, also economic growth as well. She will be aware because she lobbied for this, and we were successful. We've now got more than £322 million from the government for a City Hall developer investment fund. One of the key things we've got to do is unlock those stalled sites. Permissions granted, construction's begun, but they've stalled. What can we do to unlock those stalled sites? And finally, we've got to work even closer with the government. MHCLG are integral to the success of this endeavour. And the point we're trying to make to the government is, generally new affordable homes in London are just in of itself of great value to the families who will be rehoused there. They benefit our wider economy for the reasons that you've set out.
And really briefly, so that 322 million for the City Hall developer makes my heart sing. We cut off time. Okay, sorry. Okay, I will stop there.